Now, ABC 3340 News at 10.
Thanks for joining us. We start with a live look outside on this chilly but dry Saturday night, at least for now. But get your rain boots and your rain jacket ready. Central Alabama is about to see rain, and lots of it. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Stephen Quinn, and let's get right to meteorologist Charles Daniels to tell us exactly when we're going to start seeing that rain. Charles?
How about now? For some, some showers, not a lot. This is all fairly light, but some light showers primarily over West Alabama now. Give us maybe an hour or so. I think really maybe 2 hours before it really gets into the metro. But a few light sprinkles around, light rain overnight, some showers expected. More on the way, though, so be prepared for that. We'll see this off and on through the day tomorrow. Look at the temperature range, though. 39 in Haleyville right now, 47 in Birmingham, low 50 still in Anniston and down towards Alex City. What's happening, though, is that we've got that cooler air in place. It's going to actually start to warm up. I think we'll hit our lows for tomorrow around 12:01, and then those temperatures begin to rise as a warm front comes in. So tomorrow morning we'll actually be in the mid-50s early on. We warm into the mid to upper 60s. Few places even near 70. A rumble of thunder not out of the question, but primarily periods of rain through the day tomorrow, but a lot more rain on the way. We'll talk more about it coming up in just a minute.
Charles, thank you. Rain and changing weather can't stop the ABC 3340 weather team. Be sure to download our free weather app for instant access to temperatures, radar, and of course the weather blog. And breaking news tonight out of Hoover, where police are investigating a robbery at the Jared's Jewelry Store at the River Chase Galleria. Police say a man came into the store just before 7 o'clock this evening wearing a mask and carrying a sledgehammer. He told the people inside, quote, "This is a robbery." And that's when two more masked men came in. The robbers were able to get away with jewelry. If you have any information, call Hoover Police or Crime Stoppers, and you can remain anonymous with those tips. New tonight, officers shot in the line of duty in Illinois and Auburn continue to recover tonight. The Auburn police officer shot Friday night during a traffic stop has been identified. Police tell us he is 30-year-old Justin Sanders. ABC 3340's Alex Drentz joins us live in the newsroom. Alex, what have we been learning about how that officer is doing tonight?
Stephen, Sanders was transported to UAB where he is in stable condition and continues to recover from his injuries. Earlier today, I spoke with law enforcement officers who say what happened last night at Auburn and in Illinois heightens their awareness while on the job. TJ Armstrong has put on a law enforcement uniform for 16 years. He says anytime an officer is wounded on the job, the feeling stays the same.
It's shocking, and law enforcement can make you cynical like other lines of work at some point, but it doesn't matter. When something like this happens, it really hits home. It's just like hearing it for the first time. There can be 100 of them and every one is just the same. It really hits you at the core. The most recent, an Auburn police officer shot during a traffic stop of a robbery suspect Friday night. Earlier that day, 5 officers shot in Aurora, Illinois at a mass shooting at a manufacturing plant. Armstrong and other law enforcement members say incidents like this put them on heightened awareness.
We have a job to do. We're going to continue to do it. We've just asked that the community continue to support law enforcement and to continue to work with us to help get these criminals off the street. But we as law enforcement are going to continue to train, and we're going to be prepared when the time comes.
And in regards to that Auburn police officer, Auburn Police, Opelika Police, the State Bureau of Investigation, and the State Medical Examiner's Office continue to investigate that case. Live in the newsroom, Alex Drentz, ABC 3340 News.
A Central Alabama community now in mourning. We know that an Alabama man is one of the 5 people that was killed in a workplace shooting in suburban Chicago. That shooting happened Friday at a manufacturer's warehouse in Aurora, Illinois, as you see in these images that played out all day on Friday. Josh Pinkard was from Holly Pond and was a plant manager at that factory. Brian Haynes, a Reedon Missionary Baptist Church member, says Pinkard and his family attended their church for years. He says Pinkard will always be remembered for his faith and his positive outlook on life.
Very, very special young man. He never said anything bad about anybody. He was always positive, always stood for the Lord, and he still has as an adult.
Haynes says right now the community just needs to pray for the Pinkard family, and they're asking everyone to do just that. Meanwhile, we're learning new details about the 4 other victims in Aurora, as well as more about the gunman's criminal past. Here's ABC's Zachary Quiche.
Authorities have released the names of the 5 people killed Friday in a deadly workplace shooting. Among those killed, a human resources manager and a college intern on his first day at work.
Clayton Parks, Trevor Wayner, Russell Byer, Vincente Juarez, Josh Pinkard.
At 1:30 Friday afternoon, gunfire interrupted the workday at the Henry Pratt factory in Aurora, Illinois.
Aurora has an active shooter situation.
Police and SWAT teams stormed the warehouse.
Approximately 25 to 35 agencies responded, approximately 200 to 300 officers.
5 officers were injured by gunfire. Police say the suspect, 45-year-old Gary Martin, was an employee.
He reported for work, and during this meeting he was terminated. He opened fire right after the termination.
Martin was eventually killed in a gun battle with police.
He was in a back machine shop, and there were some shots exchanged as the officers made their way into that area.
Police say Martin had 6 prior arrests but was issued a firearms owner ID card in 2014 when he applied for a conceal and carry permit. An old felony conviction from Mississippi was discovered during fingerprinting.
Once this felony conviction was discovered, the offender's conceal and carry permit was rejected and his FOID card was revoked by the Illinois State Police.
Martin was sent a letter ordering him to turn in his weapon. Authorities are now investigating why that wasn't followed up on. Zachary Quiche, ABC News, Aurora, Illinois.
New at 10, multiple people are dead after a nearly 12-hour-long standoff and hostage situation near Jackson, Mississippi. It happened in the suburb of Clinton. That's where police first got a call about a domestic situation early this morning. The city spokesperson says the incident escalated into a hostage situation before a SWAT team and the FBI were eventually called in. Pell City police say a serial suspect is responsible for an armed robbery at a local drugstore. Take a good look at this picture. Police say this suspect, and what you're seeing here, is him robbing a Walgreens in Birmingham in November. Pell City police say that same man robbed this Walgreens as well as one in Leeds. This is the one in Pell City. Police say on Friday that man passed a note to the cashier, and at that point, the robbery was underway. He was able to get away with cash as well as some drugs from that pharmacy there. No one was hurt during the robbery. And an ABC 3340 News alert from Washington, D.C. as President Trump's declaration of a national emergency over the border wall is leading to numerous challenges in court that we are already seeing. Liberal watchdog group Public Citizen has already filed a federal lawsuit, and the ACLU plans to file a lawsuit early next week. But even as the president made the announcement, he knew it would be challenged.
And they will sue us in the Ninth Circuit, even though it shouldn't be there. And we will possibly get a bad ruling, and then we'll get another bad ruling, and then we'll end up in the Supreme Court.
On Thursday, Congress passed a spending bill that granted just under $1.4 billion for border barriers. That was less than what the president had asked for. The House Judiciary Committee is now calling for a hearing on the president's declaration of a national emergency. Coming up, chaos and panic at a major American airport. On ABC 3340 News at 10, the man that tries to run past security while simply reaching into his pocket had passengers literally running for the exits. But next, call it the catch of a lifetime. And we've got the proof to show you the colossal fish and the piece of biscuit. Yes, I said biscuit. People can't stop talking about. We'll talk about making one ultimate catch. That's the story for a Kentucky fisherman who's making big news for catching a 20-pound goldfish. But don't worry, this isn't a tall tale. We've got the proof. There it is. Hunter Anderson works at a bait and tackle shop, so he knows fish. But what people really can't stop talking about is what he used to catch this fish, a piece of biscuit.
I don't know if it's the biggest goldfish ever caught or koi fish ever caught, but definitely the strangest fish I've ever caught. I guess people just never seen anything like it. I know I haven't.
Just like Mama used to make it, right? Surprisingly enough, Anderson didn't keep the fish as a trophy. Instead, he threw it back right into the water for someone else to catch. We'll see if they do. Next up, crazy new video after an SUV goes flying through the air, the dangerous traffic hazard that is now being blamed. We're back with that chaos and panic at Orlando International Airport. Now, all of this was caused after a man tried to run past security. People thought he had a gun. Travelers then literally raced for the exits as parents grabbed their babies out of strollers. ABC's Stephanie Ramos has the new video tonight from Orlando.
Terrifying moments at Orlando's International Airport when police say 32-year-old Ryan Mills tried to breach a security checkpoint. Passengers waiting to go through security, instead taking off running, fearing he has a gun. Parents grabbing their babies out of strollers, knocking down barriers, running and hiding for their lives.
There's like a stampede of people running. Me and Andrea hopped the counter to hide the back of Chick-fil-A.
TSA officers ushering people to safety.
So everyone just takes flight and everyone's jumping over each other. I'm trying to like grab parents, grab kids. I'm telling people to just go, go, go.
Police say when they detained the suspect, he reached into his pocket, causing the panic.
He got a grenade or something in his hand. Swear to God, he got a grenade in his hand.
Police say the suspect was unarmed but taken into custody.
That was Stephanie Ramos reporting. Police say that man will likely face several charges. Delays, by the way, with TSA screening continued all afternoon. I want you to take a look now at this brand new video from Tennessee of an SUV flying through the air. Wow, look at that right there. Can you imagine? And crashing, that's a police car, by the way. It all happened after that SUV hit a rock slide in Bristol, Tennessee. That police officer was in the area responding to reports about the rock slide that was partially blocking the road. There's a better look at it. The officer being treated just for minor injuries. The driver of the SUV actually refused medical treatment. And a small songbird is giving quite the education at one Birmingham school, getting students out of the classroom and into nature. But it's not just the pupils that are benefiting. The birds are as well, too. ABC 3340's Ariel Clay introduces us tonight's Alabama champion.
It started with the binoculars.
Oh, wow, they're all in a fuss.
A way for students at Putnam Middle School to expand their farming lessons.
We study ecosystems, which relates a lot to the farm. We wanted to expand that out to kind of encompass the ecosystem more as a whole.
Including the skies. Kelly Baker is the Jones Valley teaching farm instructor at Putnam. She reached out to Sarah Randolph and Birmingham Audubon to get the binoculars.
So it's just a great way to expose the kids to nature and get them out, you know, from their phones and TVs and that kind of thing.
You can listen to the birds chirping and squirrels. So I like those sounds of the birds.
I think I see some over here.
In the process of teaching the students, Birmingham Audubon discovered an old, overgrown trail behind the school building, a perfect habitat for one bird in particular, the brown-headed nuthatch, a climate-endangered species.
With, you know, temperatures rising in the summers and that sort of thing, it's important that we restore the habitat for these birds to make it, you know, as good as it can be.
So that's exactly what the Audubon did.
Part of the Audubon's work here at Putnam was pulling all of this debris off of the trail so students can use it.
It's a nice trail, and it's like a little post where you can sit down and listen to everybody else's poems and see what you think about them.
Students like Kimon Ross were encouraged to write about their experiences on the trail. In his poem, the 7th grader imagines himself as a bird.
Me and the brown-headed nuthatch have a lot in common.
Students go to school to learn about the world that we live in. The world that we live in is not confined to 4 walls. This is our world, and we can learn a lot through it.
A reminder to get out, look up, and never stop exploring. In Birmingham, Ariel Clay, ABC 3340 News.
A story that took a lot of work, by the way. Birmingham Audubon cleared the trail with the help of dozens of volunteers over 3 days. The organization plans to continue to maintain it for both the birds and, of course, the students. And if you know anyone who you consider to be an Alabama champion, we want you to let us know. You can email us at share@abc3340.com. Charles, there's a saying, early bird gets the worm. It's going to be a busy one out here. And how early are we going to get that rain? That's the real question everyone wants to know, I think.
We got a few of those showers beginning to move in right now. They'll be fairly light, but then the rest of the day tomorrow, off and on showers. So just be ready for it. We're looking at the Jasper Sky Cam, and I think we've got some rain close by. It looks like it's dry here in the square, but 44 degrees So far, a little bit of a chilly evening, but folks out and about still enjoying not a bad but pleasant evening so far. That may change in a few minutes. Let me show you a few showers beginning to move through. Anything out here right now is all extremely light. As we look at the live sweep of the radar, you notice not much has made it into town yet, but some heavier rain in the north side as you get up towards the north side of Marion County. Really up towards Hackleburg, Haleyville, maybe some very light rain. Hamilton, not too bad, just some sprinkles around, just enough to be annoying. That's sort of what it's like out there. But 39 in Haleyville right now, 51 in Alex City, a big range in temperatures. And look at the temperature change. This time last night, it is a little bit cooler in Alex City, about -9 degrees down. But how about this? 15 degrees colder now in Birmingham, 22 degrees colder up in Haleyville. That cooler air sliding in here, making a big difference. So some of you tonight may not even cut the heat on. Some of you probably had it on most of the day. It just depends, I guess. But a few light showers now moving through this disturbance. We've got a warm front setting up, and it's starting to get some forward motion, going to move through as we head into the overnight hours. So our overnight low, or our morning low for tomorrow, will actually be around 12:01 midnight, maybe a little after that. Then the temperatures begin to rise as that boundary moves in, and that'll actually bring temperatures up back into the low to even mid-50s by sunrise. So we'll see a nice surge of warmer air moving back in. We're at 47 now, 51 in Jackson, and we'll see that change. What we won't see is a lot of rainfall, but some showers around overnight. More showers by daybreak, off and on through the day tomorrow. Maybe at times a little heavy, and then I think the heaviest of the rain will be tomorrow evening. Monday we get a little bit of a break. It won't be much, but then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we add to these rainfall totals. Some areas in North Alabama could get up to a foot of rain by the time we get to the end of next weekend. I think 3 to 5 inches, 6 inches of rain for us. Not out of the question. Again, more rain added to that as we get to the end of next weekend. So a few passing showers tonight, but I think pretty mild. 49 degrees, not too bad. Again, remember that comes just after midnight. Then we're back into the upper 60s, cloudy and warm, periods of rain throughout the day tomorrow, even a little bit breezy. And here's our 7-day forecast. Again, the next couple of days, not too bad. We're back in the 50s for a few days, but plenty of rainfall Tuesday through the rest of the week, which will bring about a flooding threat for next week, so make sure you pay attention. We'll be right back with Jamie and sports.
Now, the Pepsi Sports Desk with Jamie Hale.
We played extremely well. They took it to us from the start. They threw the first punch, and we stumbled basically for the rest of the game.
The Florida Gators came to Coleman Coliseum and continued its winning streak that reaches back to 2006. Bama's energy was low and they could not seem to execute their game plan. The Gators outscored Alabama 16-8 in the first 7 minutes of the second half, and Bama could not get closer than 8 points the rest of the game. The Crimson Tide fell 71-53. Now, conference wins don't come easy, especially when you play inside Memorial Gym. The Tigers lost 13 of its last 14 games there, and today they got their first win against Vandy since 2000. Auburn caught a spark midway through the second half when Jared Harper hit 3-pointers on back-to-back transition possessions. Harper's streak shooting helped his Tigers gain a lead and win 64-53. Harper finished with 16 points on 40% shooting. And how about UAB, who beat WKU 68-60 tonight, earning a berth in the top pod as the 5 seed for CUSA bonus play, which begins next Saturday. Birmingham Iron returned to Legion Field in week 2 of the AAF season, hosting some Stallions from Salt Lake City in front of over 17,300 fans. Former Alabama running back Trent Richardson scored the go-ahead touchdown in a 12-9 win. The Irons now 2-0. A new era is beginning as professional soccer comes to Birmingham. The Legion Football Club hosting their first ever preseason game, facing Nashville FC. And unfortunately, the Legion fall in their first preseason match 3-0 the final. Well, it was a great day for our area wrestling teams who swept all 3 classifications of the state wrestling tournament. Alexandria's Christian Knopp closed out his career with a pin at 195 pounds in 1A through 5A over Corner's Cole Fuller. Knopp is now the first AHSAA wrestler to win 4 state titles with undefeated records. The North Carolina State signee ranks 3rd nationally in consecutive wins. He finished his career with a 235-0 record.
It's been a long journey, lots of hard work, lots of extra time after practice, and a great way to cap off a great career in high school, on to bigger and better things.
In the 6A 132-pound class is where McAdory's Stephen Bell pinned Benjamin Russell's Robert Graham to go 91-0 on the season, helping McAdory win its first ever team title. Bell also set the AHSAA record and tied the national one for wins in a season.
I know I should have won last year, so I worked my butt off this offseason, and I came out with a title. It's very hard. Like, with 90-something matches, 91, and not lose one, it's very hard.
McAdory's Turner Black winning the 6A 182-pound class. This win made him 90-1 this season. Had his teammate not broken this state record, well, he would have. To the individual final in the 106-pound class, Corey Land from Moody beats Arab's Jacob Holland by an 8-2 decision. He now has a 47-0 record. His teammate in the 145-pound class, Sage Hughes, with the come-from-behind win today, helping his team clinch its first ever state title.
All I could think of, this is the last time I'm going to wrestle, you know. I'm a senior, I just got to leave it all out there. And that's exactly what I did. I'm at a loss for words, honestly.
And how about Thompson's Gabe Hicksonbaugh in the 7A 138 championship? This is him beating Hoover's Connor Double by a 17-2 technical fall at 448. Hicksonbaugh is the 7th wrestler in state history to win at least 5 individual titles. Thompson remains the king in 7A.
Been Thompson since 6th grade, and I love them a lot, and they're my brothers, and to bring it home with all of them, even the ones that aren't able to win it individually, it's amazing. It's just a ring for everyone. It's an awesome feeling.
All right, let's hit the hardwood at Wallace State Community College, where regional tournament play continued today, starting with Pleasant Grove and West Point. West Point responds to the Spartans with an and one bucket right there from Mackenzie Carter. Garrett at it again, hesitation move and the up and under finish. First half winding down, great pass down to Maya Cunningham, who led the game with 16 points. Pleasant Grove wins 54-35. Winona and Madison County going at it in the 5A regionals today. First half, Keandra Childress comes up with a steal coast to coast for the bucket. Raven Miller gets it down low and gets the basket with the post move. Madison County on fire the first half. As time winds down, Libby Privet gets the rebound and throws up a prayer at the buzzer, and it falls. Winona fought back to cut it to 6, but fell 55-41 in the end. Now let's show you the boys of Winona and Madison County. The #1 Dragons going off before halftime. Jaden Sander knocks down the 3, and Justin Minter drives and passes it to brother Jarvis Minter, takes it to the bucket with a nice lay-in. Madison County inbounding. Tyler Woods snatches it out of the air, and he goes down the court, passes it out to Sanders for another 3. Winona wins 39-36. And East Limestone was just too much for Fairfield today. The Tigers lose 54-45. In the Southeast 5A regional boys, Ramsey beat Brew Tech 53-49. And Ramsey beat Brew Baker Tech 74-41 in the Southeast 5A regional girls game. A lot of high school action today.
You were busy.
Yeah, that was a pretty busy sports block. Love it.
Lots of highlights and a lot more to come. Another busy weekend next weekend, I assume.
Yep.
All right, Jamie, thank you so much. We'll have another look at your weather when we come back right after this.
All right, a few showers out there tonight. Most of these will be very light, but expect more on the way tomorrow. Off and on throughout the day tomorrow, some periods of rain. I think we get a little bit of a break Monday, not much though, but then showers and even a few thunderstorms off and on through the next week. Some of those will be heavy at times, and by the time we get to Friday, some areas will see anywhere between 5 to 10 inches of rainfall. So just keep that in mind, a lot of rain on the way.
All right, Charles, thank you, and keep an eye on that weather. We'll be doing that again. We'll be back here again at 5 o'clock tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday night.